All right, we got the wife's 2018 Ford Edge. It's got the 2-liter EcoBoost in it. It's in, it's just due for an oil change. And right now it's one of those things where it is cold outside. It's like down in the negatives up here in Pennsylvania. So it took me a minute to even want to do this. But we got it in, I'm gonna get it done. It's easy to change the oil, and it's definitely worth doing. Real weird things on this right now in our economy, man. It's hard to find oil. Like, I like Mobil 1 oil and Mobil 1 filters, just never had an issue. Well, for my 21 F-150, which uses the same filter as every other 3.5 EcoBoost, they're not available. Amazon shows a ton, but like the local parts stores, Walmart, everything like that, nobody has one. So something weird going on with our economy. It's just we haven't caught up yet. This thing's got, I think, 35,000 miles on it now. So I was just checking the oil. It burned about half a quart between oil changes, which on these things, it's something ridiculous, like 10,000 miles or something, give or take. I guess they have a smart oil life monitor. Also, something to keep an eye on is some of these EcoBoosts start using a little bit of coolant. And what happens is there's head problems or head gasket problems, and it actually ends up in the cylinders with a misfire. Looks like my wife may have done a bird in also. No big surprise there. But other than that, it's actually been a pretty decent little car, with the exception of the typical Ford back rotors and brakes. So far, no real problems with it. But I'll probably time-lapse you guys on this until I bring you back. There's no real big how-to on an oil change. The only thing weird on these Fords is even in the 4-cylinder models, they use 6 quarts of oil, so that's something to be aware of. Seems like a lot of manufacturers are kind of headed towards that, to use more oil. Like, I think my service truck holds almost 9 quarts. It's that new 6.6 LS motor, but for this one it's 6 quarts. No big deal. So let me get started on this thing, and I'll bring you back when I run into something new. All right, so nothing really to it. Nothing major except fighting the Pennsylvania winter rainstorm we get down here. This is kind of interesting, though. They got this little, it's kind of like a foam undercar shield, but they have an air dam and an air scoop, and it goes up to the power transfer unit, which is finned. Now, I remember on the Explorers, they were having a problem with the gear oil gelling, getting sludgy and taking these units out. So it's kind of interesting to see this on here. It looks like there might even be a drain plug on this one. That's kind of cool. I don't know if there's a fill plug or not. I should actually probably do that on this one, but it's something neat to note. So they're trying something here, because you could see it funnels air directly up at it. No big deal. Also, I like to pre-fill my filters. I know a lot of places don't. When the filters are vertical like this, you can fill them up, and it doesn't take but an extra second. And I just feel like any extra second that engine runs without oil just isn't a good thing. For the 10 seconds it takes you to pre-fill the filters. It's just not a bad deal. Also, we're almost at 100 subscribers, so thanks guys, I appreciate that. It's kind of awesome. You know, I know I don't do in-depth how-tos or anything like that, but the stuff I do and put on my channel is kind of just this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm up to. Maybe some things to watch out for guys who, you know, are doing this at home. And like I said, I'm looking around, just checking stuff out. I don't see any major leaks or anything like that, so I'm pretty happy with that. After the experience we had with my mother-in-law's car, I don't like how they ran this harness though. It looks like originally it would have been taped up to something, but it's right there on that sway bar, so we'll have to tie that up. That's not good. Also, if you look at the CV axle, I wonder if it wouldn't be, it looks like it must not be perfectly in line. Like the motor must be offset to one side a little bit. And because looking at the angle of that axle, CV joint, I know it's not an axle, but looking at it, it looks like it comes off center. So that's gotta, but sometimes they do put them at an angle to work the joint so the grease flows around. So that might be what they're doing. Yeah, probably is, looking at this backside. So what they're doing is by putting a small angle in them, it works the grease. Other than that, the thing looks good. These wonderful electronic parking brakes, you have to put them in service mode to service them. But I'm gonna drain this thing down and fill the oil up, and we'll reset the maintenance monitor. Same thing here. The oil drain plug was actually loose, and we bought this from Ford, and it was serviced by Ford because they gave us, you know, a free oil change when we bought it. I couldn't believe that drain plug was loose, but it wasn't actually leaking. So no big deal there. It's already missing one of these fasteners. Who knew? You know, in PA, like I said, the snow's up over the bumper sometimes, and it looks like it's taking a little damage there. Not a lot you can really do about it. It's just one of those things, keep an eye on it. Because I could see a lot of people doing away with this shield, but honestly, in this car, it definitely serves a purpose. The other thing is interesting is, okay, this one is broke off. I was looking at that, I'm like, huh. I'll bring you back when we reset the maintenance monitor. All right, so you finished your oil change, everything like that. You can go into the main menu. This thing's not happy. It's got a few errors because I got the door open, the hood open. Let's see, there it is. Settings, vehicle, oil life reset, hold OK to reset, and you're done. Back out. Go back to the display mode. I think she always puts it on mile per gallon. Fuel economy, there we go. And start it up. Check for leaks. And you should be good to go. No major big deal about it, just something to do on a cold Sunday day.